Alright lads, so in around 12 or so hours time, we are going to be getting the Safwi Round 7 rerun featuring Roka and also Cien, the Awakening summons. And as always, we're going to be breaking down the banner, letting you lads know everything you need to know in case you are someone that wants to summon on this. I know many people are still trying to summon on post selection, and also Round 8 of Spirits Off with you with Sergeant Kaname and Toshiro. So I know many people are going to just pass by this banner super easily, which is fair enough, but I know there's a lot of new players in the game that maybe never had a chance to summon for these characters and are maybe wondering if they're worth summoning for, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So firstly, as always, the banner availability, it's going to be out tomorrow at 7 in the morning for me, and will be lasting until the 15th of January. So while this banner is out, in case you are wondering, we are going to find out what mid-month is going to be. Mid-month is most likely going to be a premium banner, so I highly doubt you would summon on that over this particular banner, but there's always a possibility that the mid-month banner does feature one of your favorite characters, so that might be something you want to keep in mind. But the banner itself is actually quite good. Now, that doesn't mean you should instantly go summon on it, but the fillers themselves are actually better than the end of the year banner we had. I would have much preferred if it was these characters over the other Canfield characters that we got, because what this does feature is the two, main banner characters, Cien and Roka, features two great Safwi characters in Shinji and Kisuke, has two other Safwi characters that haven't really aged the best, but still, a tad bit more limited and rarer than a normal Canfield character, and at least the Canfield fillers that it does have, in this case, Round 10. Round 10 is the last Canfield banner that we did get, and it is one of the better ones. So value-wise, it's not actually too bad. And in case you have no idea what these characters do actually do, let's talk about it. The first character is going to be Cien. Now, I'm going to be truthfully honest, I don't think this character's aged that well. Now, if you do pull him and you are a fan of Cien, you can definitely get a really good use out of him. He is a super Linkshot character, so by using him in IT, for example, you do get the 5 additional super Linkshot potions. However, the problem with this character is that he doesn't come with the normal Linkshot potion skill that every other super Linkshot character has. In Kaname's case, he has super Linkshot potion plus 5, normal Linkshot potion plus 5, and also droplets. And in Nini's case, again, super Linkshot potion plus 5, normal Linkshot potion plus 5. So while it is nice that he can farm super Linkshot potions, he unfortunately doesn't come with the bonus of getting just normal Linkshot potions at the same time, which in a way kind of makes him like the less valuable character when compared to Nini and also Kaname. At the same time, the character's damage output isn't really the greatest. It's actually not bad. It's a 40% Berserker, but at the same time, when he does inflict a Stasment, and keep in mind he has an increased chance to inflict Stasment against any mind enemy, which is what he does have over Nini and also Kaname. Kaname doesn't have an increased chance of inflicting Stasments. Nini only does it when she has Killer, but in Cien's case, he does it to everyone, and it's good because when he does inflict a Stasment, you're doing 100% more damage. 40% more damage to burning enemies, and 60% more damage to lacerated enemies. And every attack that he does have has both of those Stasments. So because of that, when you do inflict a Stasment, and again, he has a pretty easy time doing that, that's where your damage output gets quite high. So it's not actually too bad. He has a decent kit too. His SC1 really isn't the greatest, but this character performs better when there's more Ciens in the lobby. If you have a Kaname and also Nini, it's not really the worst thing. It doesn't really ruin him, but again, ideally he wants to play with other Ciens here. So overall, he's not a bad character. He's actually, again, one of the better hard characters. I think he's pretty good. He definitely has some value if you want to use him in IT to, again, farm super Linkshot potions, but not to downplay him or anything, but the fact that he doesn't give, again, normal Linkshot potions does hurt him a tad bit in terms of value, because I personally own all three. I own Nini, Kaname, and also Cien, and I'm never going to use Cien over the other two characters. Mainly because if I do use him, I'm getting less Linkshot potions, and since I'm using him for the purpose of farming potions, I want to make sure I'm getting the most out of my time. So he's a good option for farming super Linkshot potions if you don't have Kaname or Nini, but if you have those two characters, I think there's a less of a reason to actually own Cien, unfortunately. For our next character, we have Roka, who in my opinion is one of the more underrated characters in the game. People are quick to say this character is trash because she doesn't do damage, because she has a mediocre SA1 and 2, but quite frankly, as someone that has used a lot of different content, she clears content just fine, and that's mainly due to her damage output. Now, I will admit, the SA1 and 2 definitely does drag her back a tad bit, but it doesn't ruin her, and the skills that she does have that increases the damage is what allows her to be good. That's thanks to her 40% Berserker, Frenzy +1, 40% more damage when you are at full stamina, and when you do inflict a Star Summon, and keep in mind she has a Vortex SA2, so it's a pretty good chance you are going to inflict a Star Summon, she gets an 80% stat boost to her Spiritual Pressure stat. With weakening every attack, a Revived Soul Bomb, complete stat immunity which you share to your entire team, a team heal every time you go to another map, healing your teammates by 20%, and also yourself with Longstride, this allows Roka to be quite a good character. Sure, she's not going to be like super offensive to the likes of Aizen, Toshiro, and also Retsu, but defensively, support-wise, she has a lot going for her, and again, clear time, she isn't going to be that far behind those three particular characters. She also gets more usage in Guild Quest as she does pick up the start power item +2, an additional frenzy +1, and also an extra special move. So if you are someone that likes to use Roka and you are a fan of this particular character, you can get a lot of usage out of her in just normal content and also in arena more so. Although I will admit the problem with this character, the reason why she isn't super exciting is because she is still technically overshadowed by those other technique characters I did mention. So Roka isn't a character that you need to have. She isn't like a must-have, but if you do pull her, she is someone you can use. And that's not a bad thing in my opinion. This character is more so for the Roka fans. You don't have a reason to use her if you're not a Roka fan, but if you like the character, then you can use her and she'll clear content just fine. Shinji is our first Beyond Bonka character in the banner. Again, just a very solid SP character with a high damage output. Does want to be at full stamina. Can have a somewhat way to stay at full stamina because he does have styles on reversal. And has some good strong attacks too. Overall, very solid. The only bad thing about him to a certain extent is that he doesn't have guard break. But in his case, he does have a Ronka killer. So if you use him in the situation where you want to use him against Heart or Ronkas, he's going to clear content just fine. Same goes for Kisuke. Kisuke I actually really like. Has a great SA2 being the best strong attack in the entire game, which is a distant AoE into a tracking vortex, and the fact that he has last rate and also paralysis allows him to inflict star damage quite often. It's going to trap the enemies in place, do damage over time, and when you do inflict a star damage, you get an 80% stat boost to your spiritual pressure stat. With a self-heal and also immunity to every star damage, this character clears content just fine. Compared to some of the newer power characters, he might clear on the slower side, kind of similar to Roka, but he doesn't have problem clearing content, and if you are a Kisuke fan, this essentially is your best Kisuke in the game, and he's a great one at that. Uryu, I'm gonna be honest, isn't really that great of a character anymore. The main use about him is that he can afflict weakening and also does have the Links or Potion +5 skill. So that's like the only good thing about him is that he does let you farm Links or Potions, and that's really about it. Don Kanoji, in my opinion, a super fun character, unfortunately isn't that great anymore. With a low damage output, some wonky strong attacks, mainly in that SA2, you're gonna find a hard time using him unless you really like this character. With that said, though, he does have an increased chance against 2 affiliations because he does have 2 killers, that being a Ronka and also Hollow. And at the same time, he also rides your team with a team heal every time you enter another map. That's also cool as well. But other than that, again, unless you like Don Kanoji and also Picaro, you're not really going to use this character in normal content. And even with that, his kit does leave a lot to be desired. But at the very least, he does at a particular stage in Senkaman, I believe the final stage of the Iceberger Perseverance. So if you want to use him there, you can get a usage out of him there. Mayuri is almost 2 years old at this point, so he is the oldest character in the banner alongside the 2 other characters that released alongside him. In his case, he has a good strong attack kit, a decent damage output, nothing super crazy compared to some of the newer characters, but he does have weakening every single attack and also revive soul bomb, but the character comes with an Espada killer, so ideally you're not really ever going to use him in normal content, but he does have a place in Guild Quest if you have no other better character, and that's really about it. Kugo, just a very solid NAD character that is ranged with guard break, does have follow-up, so he makes for a fun character, but if you don't like Kugo or you're not like a big fan of NAD characters, he isn't really going to change your game. But he could be a fun auto character, can be used in Guild Quest and Senkaman, so he has that going for him. And lastly for Tsukishima, Tsukishima is going to be your brave battle character. He was one of the few invincible characters that was designed to counter the past invincible character, which was Drugum. Still holds up to this day, is a team booster, which is great for someone that maybe is lacking Chad or the Yuha. At the same time, since Chad, a new-ish brave battle character, actually doesn't go for invincibility, and it allows characters like this Tsukishima to be actually better in the meta because he can actually be used to counter Chads. So in that way, he's actually not too bad. Definitely can be used outside of Brave Battles 2, just normal content, Senkamon, again, Guild Quest 2. Tsukishima, for a NAD Brave Battle character, still holds up quite well in my opinion. And then, of course, you have the banner format, which is going back to the usual stuff. So, step 1, 6, 11, 16, 21. Step 2, 7, 12, 17, and 22 will be discounted at 150 orbs or 200 orbs. Every 5th step will guarantee you a 5-star featured character, which is one of the 9 characters we just talked about. And then overall, you have a 4.5% chance to get a featured character and a 1.5% chance to get an unfeatured character. So overall, the banner itself, again, is actually quite decent value-wise. Like, most of the characters here are good. Even though I have problems with some characters like Cien, for example, it's not too bad because what you have here is 6 Safri characters, 4 of them being still great in my opinion, 2 of them not so much, but one's good in Senkamon, one's good as a Link Store character, and then you basically have the best configured banner. But as I did mention, even though it is a good banner with good characters, none of these are like a must summon. You can easily skip this banner without needing them, so I'd really only recommend summoning on this banner if you really want the characters. On my ult account, for example, I don't have anyone in this banner, and I'll probably just do the first step because it's discounted, and since I'm missing the whole banner here, it wouldn't be the worst idea. But going down or deep on a banner like this, again, I'd only really recommend it if you like the characters. If you're a massive Shinji fan or a Kisuke fan and you want to get them, then go for them, right? Same goes to Cien and Roka. Despite both of them having their like drawbacks and annoyances, they can still be used, and if you like the characters, then by all means go for them. If you do summon on this banner, our next big banner really shouldn't be till end of month February, so you'll still have time to save up, and that's only assuming you're done summoning on post-election and the current Safi banner that's out right now with Kaname, Toshiro, and also Sergeant. But anyway, that's just my opinion on this particular banner. In the comments below, let me know if you are summoning on this banner. If you are, good luck, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.